Harrison. I'm the Vice President of Engineering for Freelancer.com. And I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what we do and what we think the next big thing in the industry is going to be. So it's 2011. The world population is over 6.8 billion people, but only a third of those are currently on the internet. Just over 2 billion people connected worldwide. And that means 70% of the world's population, 2/3, aren't connected to the internet yet, but are connecting right now. And they're connecting very, very rapidly. If you can look at this map here, you can see that in North America, 77% of the population is connected to the internet. In Europe, 58.4%. Latin America gaining rapidly at 34%, but two of the largest sources of population on the planet are still very, very low. Africa at 10% and Asia at 21%. So very low internet penetration in those areas. And if you look at this graph, you can see from 2000 through to 2010, these countries and these regions have been connecting to the internet at rates well beyond anything that we see in countries like Australia or America. You can see Africa has increased its internet penetration by 2,000.5%. The Middle East by 1,800%. Latin America, 1,000%. Asia by 600%. Double-digit and triple-digit growth off the scale. The other 5 billion people on the planet are connecting very, very rapidly, but they're only on an average wage of $10 a day or less. And that means that as soon as they connect to the internet, there's two things that are their key priorities. First and foremost, they want to get work. They want to improve their economic standing. They want to increase their overall well-being and their place and their position in the world. And they do that through education. And the internet has made education such an amazingly available asset, such an amazingly available resource for them to get access to. If you go to YouTube, you can get a video on how to do almost anything, from graphic design through to advertising. It's all there and it's all easily consumable, and all you need is a computer and an internet connection. If you look at a website like the Khan Academy, the Khan Academy in 10-minute snippets gives all those basic building blocks of education from primary, secondary, all the way through to tertiary studies. And that includes subjects from maths to biology to economics, even through to quantum mechanics. And of course, iTunes. iTunes and iTunes University gives such an amazing plethora of access to all of the world's leading academic institutions, including Stanford, Harvard, Oxford, University of New South Wales. And all of this together allows people to take courses end-to-end in mathematics or computer science and take those skills and then apply them to the real world and also get work using those skills that they've achieved. At the same time as 5 billion people are connecting to the internet and giving themselves the ability to participate in the global workforce, industries are digitising very, very rapidly. If you're working on graphic design, you're probably working in Photoshop. If you're doing architectural drawings, you're probably working in AutoCAD. If you're writing books or you're in publishing, you're probably working with the EPUB format, or you're developing books to be released on Amazon's Kindle device. And discs and tapes are, almost a thing of the past these days. iTunes is rapidly becoming the default way to consume music and audio content. And the key thing to keep in mind here is if your industry hasn't digitised yet, it's about to. And it's about to do it in a very, very big way. So previously, the big transition that took place in the world was in manufacturing, where it was realised by many, many companies that by sending manufacturing offshore, they were able to achieve much greater economies of scale. They were able to do it cheaper, more efficiently, and overall, those benefits flowed directly through to consumers. The flat-screen televisions, the laptops, the fridges that we all enjoy today at lower prices and greater volumes than ever before are all as a result of being able to take that kind of labour and send it overseas. And that kind of thing is now happening in the services marketplace. So where does Freelancer sit in all of this? Freelancer really sits in the middle of the whole process between the entrepreneurs or the businesses and the companies that need to get things done and the massive pool of global labour that's both available right now and becoming bigger every day at a time. we empower those businesses to get in touch with the workforce that they really need to get the job done and to grow their businesses as rapidly as they can. So in the West, or in countries like Australia, in developed economies, our place is to help those entrepreneurs. In Australia at the moment, the unemployment rate is low. We're down at 4.9% at the moment. And that can make it really hard to find the right person to get the work done for you, especially at a price that is going to work for you and can keep your business going along on the right track. And especially if you think about some of the really emergent technologies, Web 2.0, live video streaming. If you're working in the textile industry, you may not necessarily know the right person for the right job. You sort of have to fish blindly and hope that you're going to find the right person. And a marketplace like Freelancer really gives you the opportunity to contact large volumes of people with a diverse range of skills. It could be midnight, 2 a.m. in the morning, you're sitting there and you've got this idea, you're sitting in your underwear and you're going, how can I make this a reality? And before now, you'd never have had that opportunity. You'd have sort of gone, oh, well, what can I do? And just move on, and the next day comes and so it is. But instead now, you can get online, you can have somebody put together a logo, design you a website, host it, advertise it, and your business has just become a reality. And you didn't even have to leave the comfort of your couch at home. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine is a musician. Musicians aren't well known for having large amounts of spare cash. And what he really wanted to do was advertise his band. But to advertise his band, he needed a website. And he sort of had a bit of a look around, talked to some people in the industry in Sydney, had a word to me. And the best price that he was coming up with was at least $1,000. And that's well beyond his price range. There was no way that he was going to be able to afford that. Going to freelancer.com, he listed his project, gave a quick description of what he was looking for and what he was trying to get out of it. Within hours, he had bids coming in. Within a day, he had 30 bids sitting there, all offering to do the work for him. 2 days later, he'd already selected somebody, and then for $150 in a number of days, he had a website developed, designed, and put online. That's the kind of access that the new marketplace, the new services marketplace, makes available to anyone and everyone. This is a quote by Thomas Friedman, who is a columnist for the New York Times and a Pulitzer Prize winner. And I'll just read it for you because I think it really does summarise the situation quite well. If I have just the spark of an idea now, I can get a designer in Taiwan to design it. I can get a factory in China to produce a prototype. I can get a factory in Vietnam to mass manufacture it. I can use Amazon.com to handle fulfillment. I can use Freelancer.com to find someone to do my logo and manage my backroom. And I can do all this at incredibly low prices. The one thing that is not a commodity and never will be is that spark of an idea. And it's that sense of entrepreneurship, that ability to create ideas and to take them somewhere, that we now have that opportunity to really jump on board with. Equally in emerging economies, in countries like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, we've got the ability to give the entrepreneurs in those countries the chance to create companies and to create new lifestyles, to create new businesses around themselves. We've got one guy on the website who has been a user of ours for quite a number of years, and he's actually built himself a company through using our service. And to date, he now has over 100 staff. It's 100 staff. That's an enormous number of people in large communities, where he's able to make over $1 million a year through our website, building, can you believe it, $65 websites. Think about how many websites he's building each year to be able to make that kind of revenue and the number of people that he's employing in these kinds of countries. So this is our website. At any given time, we've got somewhere between 8,000 and 12,000 people, often more, online, looking at projects, looking at what's available, looking at the different skill categories, trying to find new ways for them to explore the business. And you can see there our giant big orange button that lets you post a project. So you can come along to our website, sign up, post a project. All you really need is just that idea, that spark of inspiration, a description around what it is. For example, we actually outsourced our logo. We ran a competition where we said, look, we really like the colour blue, we're kind of fond of birds, we'd like you to design us a logo. And we had 15,000 entries at the time. Just unbelievable. That kind of volume, you can't get it any other way. The internet is the great enabler in this kind of situation. And what you can do is, as soon as you post that project, people are bidding on your project. So, 30 to 50 bids on average every project receives. And that's people saying, I really like your idea, when can I start work for you? This is how much I'd like to be paid to do the work. You can negotiate back and forth with them. You have the opportunity to review their previous work and see what other people have given ratings on them or feedback. And also to correspond with them and maybe, progress the discussion. Your original idea, you might be able to go well beyond. You start out with a logo, you end up with a logo and a website that's advertised. You can really build a business very, very easily. And I think the thing that most people seem to find happens is they get really excited. It's such a monumental wake-up to them that they're able to get this kind of access to such an amazingly talented and skilled workforce. So a few stats about Freelancer. So we started in 2004. To date, we are now the world's largest outsourcing marketplace with over 2.6 million users in over 234 countries and regions worldwide. You would probably be hard-pressed to find a country or a location where we don't have users at the moment. Anything that happens worldwide, we hear about it because we see it happen on the website. And over 1 million projects have been posted on our website to date. That's $90 million worth of money spent through our site, which is roughly equivalent to the savings to Western businesses of somewhere between $500 million to $1 billion worth of money. And that's been achieved in $200 projects, $200 at a time, giving cost savings back to businesses and passing work over into developing economies. So this is a really interesting graphic to me because it gives a really strong opportunity to represent where work is coming from and where work is going to. So you can see here that America, Europe, the UK are all strong sources of work represented in red, people posting projects and getting work done. And in green, you've got the freelancers providing the labour and providing the work. And obviously, the significant proportion, a majority proportion, is currently being fulfilled by India. So you can also see Australia participating there, and you can start to see South America and Africa starting to join into that freelancer marketplace and really starting to generate lots more work around those areas and regions. So if you're a small business owner, this creates a whole new world of opportunity for you. If you want better packaging for your product, you can get it designed or even printed through Freelancer. If you want to sell more, you might be able to get a PR or a marketing campaign done. And you can get all of that designed and completed. You can even get ad placement done. If you want to redesign your showroom, you can have somebody do the architectural diagrams and layouts for you. If you need a website, you can have it designed, you can have it hosted, you can have new brochures done, or you can even find new manufacturers for where the best place to get your product built is. And of course, you can do all this off the back of a credit card, preferably your own. So it's never been a cheaper time to do this kind of work. And this is off the back of a revolution that's been happening in the technical industry and the technology industry for quite a while now. So I'm an engineer by background, and this is the stuff that's really close to my heart, because here represents all of the technologies that mean that I can achieve the kind of things I can achieve today. You can see, you can get a blog with WordPress, you can set up an e-store with Magento, you can have web servers with Apache, you can run databases with MySQL, and you can host it all on Linux boxes, all free of charge, all open source software. In addition, there's also free services like Skype, giving you the ability to contact people anywhere on the globe, over voice over IP. And you can run all of your email, document exchange, calendaring through Gmail or Google Apps. And that's just, there's never been a time that allowed you to have that kind of access to such a broad range of freely available technology. And if it's not free, it's cheap. So in this case, you can see you can buy a domain with GoDaddy, you can set up a store with Shopify, you can take payments through PayPal and Moneybooker, you can sell product through eBay, you can leverage social networks like Facebook and Twitter, or alternatively, you can use something like LinkedIn. You can get it all hosted on Amazon Web Services, which we use quite a bit of ourselves, amazingly scalable, phenomenal economies of scale. And of course, you can get it all done, tied together and pulled together by freelancers on freelancer.com. So there's really never been a better time to start a company. With that much free technology available, with so much cheap technology available at cost-effective amounts, and with such an enormous labour force just waiting for you to reach out to them and get them to do some work, now is the time. Vivid is really a festival of ideas and creativity. And I think everybody in this room here has at least one, probably tens, hundreds of ideas that they really think could have a shot, that they really want to try and explore. And the kind of technology and the kind of opportunity that I've been talking to you about today is all about taking those ideas, taking those dreams and turning them into a reality. And never before has there been that kind of opportunity. And that's what I'm really excited about, and that's why I think Freelancer.com is such an amazing marketplace and such an amazing opportunity. So I encourage you to go and check out our website, www.freelancer.com, and thank you very much.